clearly, when you read the reports of the Royal Commission for communities like Newcastle, it does become apparent that for many, many years there was this consensus amongst leading figures, not only in the church but leading civic community figures, that it was something that everybody should turn a blind eye to. And indeed, if the evidence of the Royal Commission shows that that attitude is not gone yet, that there's still a minority of figures in communities that are of the view of, can't everybody just kind of move on? I'm here to announce that I will be recommending to the Governor-General that a Royal Commission be appointed to inquire into institutional responses to instances of and allegations of child abuse in Australia. Any instance of child abuse is a vile and evil thing. Australians know that. And Australians know from the revelations that they've read in recent weeks that too many children have suffered child abuse, but have also seen other adults let them down. They've not only had their trust betrayed by the abuser, but other adults who could have acted to assist them have failed to do so. Clearly, that was something that over time enabled the cover-up to be as comprehensive and consistent as it was, even when there were individual whistleblowers. Those whistleblowers were marginalised and treated appallingly, and the system rolled on. Its uncovering of how human beings responded in that situation is all going to teach us something about how we can better protect children in the future and have systems that have cultures of reporting and clarity rather than cover up and confusion to try and make sure people aren't held to account. I knew when I set up the Royal Commission that it was going to be a very major, very big inquiry. Already on the public record, we knew that the range of problems was very significant. But even I was taken aback by how much the Royal Commission uncovered and how absolutely harrowing that material has been. But it seems to me there's really no community in the country that's been untouched by the work of the Royal Commission. There's nothing more important than protecting children, and that, a lot of evil has gone on and it ought to be exposed, and we ought to better protect children for the future. The fact that the powerful were going to be held to account, I think, was a collateral to that. The prime purpose was really children and their welfare.
Earlier this year, during the Anglican final hearing, there were Anglican Church senior representatives who were saying to the Royal Commission that they were struggling across the country to reach a consensus in terms of a child protection framework. Justice McClellan wasn't the only commissioner who raised the issue of tax. And he said the state could intervene by changing the money regime in relation to the church, couldn't it? The church is the beneficiary in a variety of ways of financial concessions. The state could intervene by saying you don't get these unless you get your house in order. Would that work? Are you expecting some kind of a tax recommendation, and do you think that is a reasonable thing to do?
Well, I don't want to guess.
Go on. Do it.
No, I don't. I don't want to guess. Whether it's the actual recommendations of the Royal Commission or whether it's the processes that play out afterwards, I think the Australian public will be saying to leaders of all varieties, church leaders, community leaders, political leaders, we'll be waiting and we'll be watching, and any sense that this is going to go on the back shelf and just gather some dust, the community won't tolerate it, the public won't tolerate it. So what levers are then needed to push some recalcitrants into action? I don't know, but public pressure will certainly be there.
I asked quite a few survivors. I said I was coming to interview you, and I said, is there a question you would like to put to Julia Gillard? And I asked quite a few. And I have no questions for you, because all that I got was people saying, please say thank you to her. Please, please say thank you. That was all that I got, not one question. So I was asked to convey people's very heartfelt thank you.
Well, it's very generous.
Thanks.
Thank you.